Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the St. Johns County Show that's on in the morning, brought to you by the Bozard Ford Studio. We've got an update on the proposed county e-bike ordinance. The city is planning to remove multiple boats from the waterways. A mother has been sentenced for a 2018 house fire, and a 6-year-old has been airlifted after a near drowning. We'll get to all that and more, but first, big shout out to Bozard Ford. Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. It's a local legacy built on trust, family values, and a commitment to doing things the right way. Proudly serving St. Augustine and beyond for over 75 years, Bozard offers award-winning service, unbeatable selection, and a state-of-the-art facility with 91 climate-controlled service bays, a quick lane for no appointment needed maintenance, and even Ford's Garage Restaurant on site. Recognized with the Triple Crown Award and President's Awards, Bozard Ford Lincoln is where hometown service meets national excellence. Great pricing, friendly faces, and a better buying experience are just off of I-95 and State Road 16. Bozard Ford Lincoln, they are driven to inspire. A big shout out also to Fidus Roofing, Old Town Trolley, Bin 39 Wine Bar, BNS Signs, Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, St. Augie's Pizza, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, and St. Augustine Handy Houses. Support all of our wonderful sponsors and support us with your likes, comments, and shares. You can find us on YouTube and help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. You can also find us on Rumble, so follow us there as well. You can help Troy get a brand new little shares badge by sending us those Facebook stars. We couldn't be more grateful for it. Don't forget that our app is always getting more amazing, and you can find it at the Apple App Store. Top of the morning to you, sir.
What's wrong with my sheriff's badge?
I mean,
it's very small for your ego.
We did specify Lil Sheriff's badge.
He really wants his rent to go up.
I think he does.
I can feel it. I can feel it. So.
You know.
Hey, happy Monday anyway.
Thanks. Happy Monday.
You know what's funny is you and I don't really see what the other one's doing in comments. You wrote morning minions.
Yeah.
I said, how are the minions? Yeah. And Kenny came in with the morning minions also. So we all three came up with the minions.
It's Minion Monday.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think we need to bring in the minion chart one morning.
Okay.
And just chart out our regulars and write their names right on the chart.
Right on. We can do that.
So, Blake, why don't you grab the minion chart so we can kind of show people what we mean.
Diagnose the minions.
I have a minion chart.
All right.
You know, doesn't everyone?
Of course.
I mean, we have the pirate minion.
Mine's
right
in my
here.
wallet.
Yeah. So we have the pirate minion here. But how was your weekend?
It was good. I had a great weekend with family. I was up with my mom's side of the family in Georgia.
Okay.
And we had lots of family time, lots of...
This needs a wipe down.
It's a little dusty.
Yeah.
But we have all the minions.
That is a lovely minion chart.
So I think we're going to need to minion. I mean, everyone's going to get a name.
I think so.
We're going to write right on them.
Which one's you? Is that you with the hat?
I
feel like it has to be you.
I'm not sure which one. I kind of like me being the pirate.
Pirate? Okay,
but this
we can
is
do
the
that.
short guy here, so.
All right.
I don't know if anybody plays guitar that's in our crew.
Maybe I'll take this hat just because my hair's up and
I don't think that's a hat. I think that's hair.
Is it? I thought it was a Russian hat.
No,
He's doing the kicks.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah?
That's a Russian hat.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right.
I'll take that one.
We'll figure it out.
Right on. Yeah, I spent a weekend with family.
I'm probably the caveman minion.
That would work too.
One of these actually says like "F-U."
Yeah, that was the caveman one.
It's the caveman. That one's me.
So which McDonald's did you steal that from?
Yes.
It was the one out of Palatka, and someone brought it to me.
Okay.
They knew my love for minions.
You didn't purposely steal it?
No.
It was a gift?
I requested it, and they said, I'll get it for you when the deal is done.
So this thing talks?
Yeah, you.
Or it did when the
batteries. It
batteries
did when the batteries were on.
Die.
You just went, and it said something, but
yeah,
it doesn't do it anymore.
Okay.
I guess we can get in there and change out the batteries somehow. I don't know.
Blake, director of all the things.
Yeah.
Batteries.
Here, let's give him some height in the shot glass.
So now I'm the director of minions.
Yes.
Yeah. So which one's the most official looking one? That would be him. So,
yeah. It's got to be the one with the crossed arms.
Yeah, he's the serious one.
Yeah,
that's Blake.
Yeah.
That one's Blake.
Right at You can almost see it
So.
right at the top. So
yeah. No, you can only see this one. Can't see that one. All right. The
So
show's
your
going
weekend was
great
good?
so far. Oh, it was wonderful. Got on the boat yesterday. It was really nice.
Nice.
It was nice out there. We went to the river and just kind of floated around.
Nice.
We had the paddleboard tied to the back of the boat, and we just sat on the paddleboard.
Very cool.
We had a good day.
I got to celebrate a new family member. My cousin's getting married.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a bridal shower with family, and that was fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Scott's going to be the guitar guy.
All right.
Kenny says he's the caveman, but I don't know. I'm kind of cavemanish myself, Kenny. I think we got a lot of similarities when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Kentucky and the land kind of crossover.
Yeah.
So, I can be the hula one.
I could see you wearing that outfit. Like, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. My second favorite football team, Paris Saint-Germain, won the Champions League Saturday, so yay.
Yay.
That's soccer, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Football.
Football.
You mispronounced it. Football.
Football.
Yeah, and like the British say, it's football, it's not soccer. You're the ones that came up with the freaking name soccer.
Yeah.
So they tried to unify it, and that's how soccer came up with its name. So
yeah.
Screw you, Brits. So we just lost
again.
We just lost our London followers.
Our one London follower.
Yeah.
They're probably
Yeah,
they're probably like,
saying the same
that
thing.
tracks.
Probably saying the same thing.
Do we have a question of the day today?
Question of the day. If you could have any view from your back porch, what would it be? Any view from your back porch?
Like Florida girl, water, but very not Florida. It would be really cool to have a house that backed up to a cliff overlooking the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that's probably if I could have any view, it would probably be like the edge of a cliff overlooking the ocean.
Yeah. Mine's pretty similar, but I'm not a cliff guy. I would have at the end of a point of a peninsula where my front door would be the sunrise and my back door would be the sunset.
Nice.
Over the water.
Nice.
Not just, we all have that, but but over the water, like water on each side, kind of at the end of a peninsula there. And I want to be able to, not a cliff, I'm not climbing down. I want to be able to walk out like 50 feet, get in the water and,
I get that.
Yeah. So
I think it'd be really cool to hear the waves reverberate on a cliff and see it. Don't have the flood risk, but you get the ocean side view.
Good point. But if you had a dock right at the end of the point, you can just sit on the dock and sit this way one day, turn it around, a little swivel chair. Yeah, that's all you need on the dock, and and I'm content.
Maybe I could get Tim O'Neill to install one of those like window washer seats, and I could. That would be cool. What do you think, Blake?
Yeah, so it's actually less more of an backyard and more of an apartment set, but my dad know which ones I'm talking about. So my dad and I went to Atlanta Motor Speedway where they have like those apartments.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And I want to have like one of those like apartments or like a backyard that looks directly onto the track.
At Charlotte or at Atlanta.
Yes.
Speedway view.
Yes.
Yeah, they're condos.
That's what.
They're condos at the actual track.
Yeah.
So and we went. We went to Atlanta in 13?
2013.
13, and we flew in again, and we fly in between all these big planes. And then we like the airport, you could run across the street to the speedway, similar to like Daytona.
All right.
And we got there and we're like, oh, okay, we got good seats. We're in the luxury box, but we didn't realize it was an actual apartment.
Oh, wow.
So the apartment's on this side, like it's a 2-bedroom apartment. And then like the back side of the apartment is like 2 rows of just comfy luxury seats. I mean, it was a badass apartment. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wish we had stayed there.
Yeah.
But it was, and they have similar ones at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So they have condos there that like you just look right over and.
How often are races happening? Like how often would you be hearing the sounds of a race?
It's only happens like 2 weeks out of the year.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, good.
Yeah, 2 weeks out of the year, and you got the coolest spot in the world. I mean, what about like the Toronto baseball They have a hotel in center field.
That's
Do they?
Yeah.
they do as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and at one point, someone forgot and left the lights on, and they were doing the business during a baseball game.
Oh, whoopsie.
Yeah.
I don't think that was on accident.
I don't think it was either.
I think that was on purpose.
I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, but
they
I
want to make
agree.
ESPN. That's what they want.
they did. Plays of the week.
That's one play.
Yeah.
Now it's time for a quick check of the weather.
Clouds roll in, clouds roll out.
Well, all right. That quick check of the weather is brought to you by Bin 39. Discover one of St. Augustine's best kept secrets. Bin 39, tucked inside St. George Inn at the north end of St. George Street, with over 95 boutique wines, 50 of them rated 90 points or higher by Robert Parker. It's the perfect spot for a romantic date night or a relaxing after-work unwind. Sit by the glass or bottle in a serene courtyard setting and enjoy live music Thursday through Sunday. Open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just stop by and say, I'll have what Irving's having. Bin 39, your taste to discover.
And we went Friday night to Ben 39 before we went out to dinner. We stopped in there and grabbed a bottle of wine. Lenny, Julie, Rebecca, and I. And I'm telling you, it is just a cool place.
Yeah,
Just to have a wine. And I texted Irving. I was like, "Hey, what are you having?" and he sent me back, and it was a great bottle of wine.
That's
and
awesome.
it was and Rebecca did the cheese selection, and we did a charcuterie, and it was really, really nice.
It's just gorgeous back there.
So and you know, that was on a night where it was there was no breeze. I was like, gosh, this would have been perfect if there was a breeze. So, you know, but it was still just wonderful back there. It was cool and you were in the shade, but still it was just a perfect night.
Yeah.
So.
It's gorgeous. I went by there with a school field trip. Well, we got ice cream when we ate and listened to the live music. I had to drive all the kids, so I didn't have what Irving was having, but I did enjoy the live music.
Yeah, the live music was great. So
yeah.
I think Brett Blackshear was there.
Nice. And now we have a Hit the Blake's traffic report.
Traffic. This looks like I-95 is very clear out there today, but still always maintain safety though. And please remember, if you see a trucker in the left lane, please honk your horn repeatedly. They are breaking the law.
All right.
That's it.
Is that what we're being advised to anger truckers?
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's try not to
do that if you want.
Let's don't do that.
I mean, truckers have a lot going on. Maybe let's not stress them out.
Yeah.
Climb aboard Old Town Trolley and experience over 500 years of history in the heart of St. Augustine. This fully narrated 90-minute tour features 22 convenient stops and covers more than 100 points of interest, including iconic landmarks like the Castillo de San Marco, the Fountain of Youth, and Flagler's Historic Hotel. With open-air views and all-day hop-on, hop-off access, it's the most fun and flexible way to explore the nation's oldest city. Your ticket includes free admission to the St. Augustine History Museum, and locals, St. Johns County residents, ride free with a full fare guest through the Hometown Pass program. Check that out at hometownpass.com. Old Town Trolley, the best way to see St. Augustine, one stop at a time. Sliding on into the news, we've got St. Johns County releases stricter version of proposed e-bike safety law. St. Johns County is one step closer to passing a new law that would limit the speed of e-bikes and impose stricter safety requirements for riders. A Jacksonville news station has obtained an updated draft of the proposed ordinance, which would cap e-bike speeds at 10 miles per hour, not just on beaches, but also on county roads and sidewalks. Under the new proposal, riders under the age of 14 would be banned from using e-bikes altogether, while those under 18 would be required to wear helmets. If there's no bike lane available, e-bikes would be restricted to the far right side of the roads where the speed limit is 30 miles per hour or less. The move comes in response to growing safety concerns, especially in family-oriented areas like Nocatee. Resident Patrick Zumo, who is the father of a 6-year-old daughter, says he's witnessed unsafe behavior from young riders. There's stop signs that the kids don't stop on. The golf carts stop, the cars certainly stop, but the e-bikes don't, Zumo said. The push for stricter regulations began back in February, but the urgency has grown following 2 recent e-bike crashes involving middle school students near the Julington Creek area just days apart. On the same day this story was reported, 2 more e-bike crashes occurred in Ponte Vedra and Fruit Cove. County Attorney Rich Commando says that's exactly why the law is being considered now. The concern was that for somebody traveling at a high rate of speed, especially on a sidewalk, it created a dangerous situation, said Commando. At this point, the draft ordinance doesn't include penalties for violating the laws. That decision will be left to the St. Johns County Board of County Commissioners, who are set to review the proposal during their meeting next Tuesday at 9 a.m. While no vote is scheduled yet, county leaders will go over potential changes and begin outlining how the law would be enforced if passed. So what are your thoughts on the changes?
I think it's ridiculous. 10 miles an hour. Come on. I mean, this is how people commute. I mean, you're not going to punish adults because parents aren't watching their children.
Mm-hmm.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I want safety for our kids, and if they are running stop signs, then they should get a ticket for running the stop sign. But 10 miles an hour. This is a lot of people commute.
Yeah.
On these e-bikes, and mine goes 20, 25, 27 miles an hour, somewhere around there, which is fast. But I rarely go that fast. I'm usually 15 to 20 miles an hour. But I don't think that's unsafe in a lot of the areas where I ride.
And just want to clarify, the 10 miles per hour is only for like sidewalks or pedestrian paths. This doesn't include the road.
It doesn't include on the road.
No.
Okay.
No.
I thanks for clarifying that, because that was kind of wild.
What are your thoughts on banning kids under 14?
These things are pretty fast. So I mean, I don't know, but kids have mini bikes when I was, they went more than 20 miles an hour too.
Yeah.
So, but we really rarely rode them on the road.
Yeah. I mean,
well, we didn't have that many roads.
I don't have strong thoughts against banning kids under the age of 14.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a 13-year-old son, and it's wild to me, the idea to send him out on something that could go like 45 miles per hour and just be like, see you maybe.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, that's why Gen Xers are a little tougher than than a lot of the rest of the world.
Yes.
I mean, our parents were just like,
kick you out.
No,
take your go-kart too. Just go
Go
far.
buy me a pack of smokes at the corner
Go
store.
far.
Now, there's also another thing in the ordinance as well that I'm looking at right now on screen. The number 10 right here is actually number. Let's see, it's number 10 on this one, which impacts us and specifically Rebecca. Operate any electric bicycle, electric motorcycle, or other electric motorized device while carrying a passenger. We use Rebecca carries Maeve.
That's how Maeve gets to school.
Yeah.
So that's not going to work.
All right.
And I mean, and families ride. I mean, that's it's not a rule against bicycles, and so it's a little overreaching.
Yeah. And we definitely we make sure like that Maeve wears a helmet every single time she gets on the e-bike because we want to make sure that she's safe while we're riding the e-bike. So and then that's our way to get to school every single morning.
That's their transportation.
Yeah. I mean, we had my kids went to preschool in downtown at Trinity Episcopal Learning Center, and we had a number of families that lived downtown, and they would ride bikes with kids in seats or even on laps to get to preschool. They were in helmets, and that's just how they got there because they were downtown.
No, I mean that's a viable mode of transportation. As long, I mean, you got to be safe. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. They're doing it for the safety of the kids, but the rule is overreaching into adults that are responsible. Yeah. So I that's one of those. There's always, you got to look at the fine print.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
No, not a fan of the rule. I mean, I am a fan of them encouraging and writing tickets for people that run red lights and stuff like that, because I do see that quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of bikers don't seem to know that they're supposed to follow the rules of the road as well.
Yeah.
They apply equally.
They seem to let that slide by.
Yeah. All right, moving into City of St. Augustine to remove 9 derelict vessels from local waterways. 9 abandoned boats are being pulled from the waters around St. Augustine this week as part of a 2-week cleanup effort led.
Who did Derek lick?
Lovely. Led by the city of St. Augustine and Flagship Towing. The vessels located in Salt Run, evidently salty, and Matanzas River are being removed to improve navigational safety, protect the environment, and restore the health of the local marine ecosystem. Once the derelict vessels are removed, they'll be relocated, properly destroyed, and disposed of. Seems aggressive. The project is funded by the National Inland Navigation District, known as FIND, the St. Augustine Port Waterway and Beach District as well. FIND oversees the Intracoastal Waterway along Florida's east coast, covering 12 counties from Nassau to Miami-Dade. Each county has a governor-appointed commissioner for St. Johns County. That commissioner is Carl Blow, who has served since 2009 and previously chaired the board. FIND's funding comes from real estate taxes within district boundaries and goes towards efforts like marine safety, environmental protection, and improved public access to the waterways. The Port, Water, and Beach District, created in the 1930s, is a local taxing authority with a broad mission to support commercial and maritime infrastructure in St. Augustine, including docks, warehouses, and bridges. For more information on the ongoing removal project or available grants, contact the City of St. Augustine's General Service Department at 904-825-1010.
And FIND, and a lot of people don't realize this. This is on your tax bill. So if you look at your trim statement and you see FIND, Florida Inland Navigation District, and basically they help with the intercoastal waterways. But one of the biggest things with these getting these derelicts out, if they come free from wherever they're mooring or if they're anchored, they're doing damages to docks and people's private property.
And the Bridge of Lions.
And the Bridge of Lions, and these older vessels will have a tendency to leak, and it's terrible for the water. So I'm glad they're getting them out, and it does take a little while. Like, you can identify them, but it takes a little while to get through the process because they have to do an extensive check on who owns it and where it's at. Is there any penalties for that person? And so I mean, a lot of these are abandoned and then stripped, so no one knows whose boat this possibly was. So but it's nice to not have to worry about, when you're riding your boat, another boat floating parts of the boats, because there's parts that come off these too.
The ones that go aren't they referred to as like ghost vessels or something? A ghost vessel coming at you.
Well, those are ones that aren't anchored at all. These are actually just anchored somewhere and just left. So
what's the purpose of that? Is that insurance? Is it just, I don't want to deal with this anymore?
I just not going to deal with it. So not going to deal with it. And some of these ghost vessels or derelict vessels, homeless live on them. So they kind of just take over the boat. So
all right. Gas Buddy Gas Report. Tell us in the comments what gas prices are looking like around you. We've got the Sunoco on North Ponce at $2.84. Shell on King Street is $2.87. Sunoco on South Ponce de Leon Boulevard's at $2.89. So is the Shell on North Ponce de Leon Boulevard. Owens is also $2.89, and so is Mobile and Circle K at South Ponce. $2.89 is Shell on Ponce de Leon Boulevard. That's $2.16 Shell. Gate at Mizell Road is at $3.04. Circle K 207 is $3.06, and Gate at US 1 North is $3.12. Maybe they should communicate. That Gas Buddy Gas Report is brought to you by Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Trouble with the law? Call the name St. Augustine has trusted for years. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, available 24/7. Their experienced and compassionate team works fast to get you or your loved one out of jail and back home. From paperwork to release, they make the process simple, discreet, and stress-free. No judgment, just help when you need it most. When the time matters, remember the name and the number. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. That's 904-822-BAIL, 904-822-2245. Got a live music report today starting at 1 p.m. Reggie starts at Tradewinds Lounge. Bones at Tide's Oyster Company and Grill. That's 5 p.m. Mark Hart is also 5 p.m. at Tradewinds Lounge. Bob Patterson rounds out 5 p.m. for us at O.C. White's. 6 p.m. we've got Sam Passetti at Prohibition Kitchen. Stu Weavers at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill, also 6 p.m. And Johnson Burns is closing out the night at Tradewinds Lounge, 9 p.m. That music report is brought to you by Fidus Roofing. When it comes to protecting your home, trust the local experts at Fidus Roofing and Construction, voted best in St. Augustine every year since 2012. Whether it's emergency repairs or full roof replacements, Fidus delivers expert shingle and metal installations using top-tier materials like the GAF Lifetime Roofing System, all backed by strong warranties and GAF Master Elite certification. And this summer, Fidus is proud to support the Big Brother Fun Scramble on Friday, June 27th at the Golf Club at Southampton, benefiting Big Brothers and Big Sisters of St. Augustine. Tee off for a great cause with breakfast, lunch, raffles, contests, and more. Sign up today at bbsgolftournament.com. Fidus Roofing, 904-355-ROOF.
They do pavers.
And gutters.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
St. Johns County mother sentenced to prison for 2018 house fire that killed her son. A St. Johns County woman has been sentenced to 3 years in prison and 5 years of probation for her role in a 2018 house fire that took the life of her 11-year-old son. Michelle Taylor was charged with second-degree manslaughter after investigators determined the fire at her Lee Street home was intentionally set. On October 18th, 2018, Taylor, her son David, and her 18-year-old daughter Bailey were home when the fire broke out. Taylor and Bailey escaped, but David ran back inside in an attempt to rescue the family dog. He died from smoke inhalation and severe burns. Nearly 3 years later, Taylor was arrested and initially charged with first-degree murder and felony arson. Investigators say the fire was set to collect a $90,000 insurance payout, and multiple areas of the home tested positive for gasoline. As part of a plea deal reached this April, Taylor entered a no-contest plea to second-degree manslaughter. In exchange, the murder and arson charges were dropped. At sentencing, Taylor delivered an emotional statement telling the court, "The day that he died, I died." She will serve just over 2 more months in state prison after receiving credit for the 33 months she's already served in the St. Johns County Jail. The law of unintended consequences.
Yeah, no, that I don't think I can add anything to that.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
Your thoughts on the amount of time she's serving?
I mean, she has to live with that inner torture. I think. Yeah. I think that's real.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I mean, it's all for money. That's the part that hurts.
Yeah.
So.
Another sad story, 6-year-old airlifted after non-fatal drowning in Silverleaf Amenity Center in St. Johns County. The child was airlifted to the hospital after a near drowning at the Silverleaf Community Amenity Center on Saturday, according to the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. The incident happened at the Amenity Center located at 218 Silver Forest Drive. The SJSO spokesperson confirmed that the victim was a 6-year-old child. As of Sunday afternoon, the child is in critical condition in the hospital. Crime scene tape was roped around the Amenity Center Saturday night. The SJSO Major Crimes Unit is investigating the incident. These things happen really fast. They're terrible and they're tragic. Pay close attention to your kids and the color of their bathing suit.
The good thing is the child survived.
Yes.
And kids are very, very resilient and very, very, so we're rooting for a huge and fast recovery. But I mean, we're in Florida.
Yeah.
So, and this happened, I'm assuming with other people around and stuff, it happens that quick.
It does. So. It happens fast. And like I said, the colors of bathing suits they're weird. The way color interacts with water and depth and how light goes into deep water. Really pay attention to the color of the bathing suit you have your kid in. It's just, there are some colors that are easier to see at depth than other colors. Some colors just really disappear.
Well, my first job in Parks and Rec, I was a lifeguard, and he's like, oh well, there's no lightning and there's rain, you can still swim. You can't swim because you can't see the bottom of the pool when it's raining. So I mean that's and the kids would get so mad at me, like I worked at an all black pool and they called me white bread. They whatever Biden called his guy or whatever.
No comment.
But they would get mad at me, and,
Mhm.
and I'd be like, okay, as soon as it stops raining, I'll let you guys get back in.
Yeah.
But I can't see the bottom of the pool. When you can't see the bottom of the pool, you can't protect everybody who's in the pool.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people think that if it's raining, don't let your kids go in because you can't see the bottom of the pool. I mean, let them play in the rain, but don't let them go in the pool because you're not going to be able to see them.
Yeah. It's
So.
just keep holding.
That might
kids,
be
guys.
me being overly cautious, but
Yeah. It's real.
So.
It's 100% real. There's fun that can be had when it's raining, just not in the pool for safety. How do you want to check the comments, Troy?
On this Monday morning, I might magnanimously make my masterful way through the Minions monitored messages.
All right. That monitored message search is brought to you by B&S Signs. Want your business to get noticed and stay that way? Turn to B&S Signs. Proudly family owned and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. From bold vinyl lettering to towering pylon signs, they specialize in high quality custom signage built to last. Their expert team handles everything: design, installation, crane service, repairs, and maintenance with fast and responsive service that keeps your sign looking sharp. Make a lasting impression with B&S Signs. Visit bnssigns.com because when it comes to signs, they do it all. Also brought to you by St. Augustine Handy House. Need a custom or prefab portable building that's built to last? Come to St. Augustine Handy House, proudly owned by Troy Usina Enterprises and serving the community since 1988. With over 70 structures in stock, from sheds and barns to carports and offices, you'll find the perfect fit for your needs. Every building comes with free delivery, leveling, and anchoring, plus easy financing options to fit your budget. Visit them on State Road 16, open Monday through Saturday, or call 904-823-9092. St. Augustine Handy House, where quality meets convenience. Give us that comments report.
All right. First off, Bobby said something about future artificial reefs with these derelict vessels because they have so much junk on them.
Mm-hmm.
The artificial reefs have to be cleaned, and you would be amazed like what you have to do. Even if you take off the concrete, you got to pull out all the rebar, and you can't use those as artificial reefs. So can't use them as artificial reefs because they're too dirty.
Yeah.
Good idea, but good secondary use, but it doesn't really work out that way. Wawa was at 305, Costco holding at 269. Josh says I was mean at the Gallimore Center when he used to go there. And that's because Josh took a really nasty, he took a nasty cut at the Gallimore Center.
Yeah?
He got hurt at the Gallimore Center when he was a kid. I was there, but I wasn't outside on the pool deck when that happened. So.
Likely story.
Sorry.
We all
Sorry,
saw
Josh.
you push him.
Josh probably still has that scar. Sorry, Josh.
That's Stordom Stat. Stordom Stat. We need Stordom Stat.
Stordom Stat today. All right, the Stordom Stat today in 1731. Our first lady was born.
All right.
So Martha Washington was born, and Martha, when her and George hooked up, she was a widower, and she had 4 children before. Only one of them actually made it to adulthood. She did have a child that George helped raise. It was a daughter who died of epilepsy at 17. But George and her never were able to have children. But she was, when George and her married, she was, if not the wealthiest widower in the colonies. She was one of the top 5 wealthiest.
Wow.
And she never really liked her role as first lady. She didn't like being in the public, but she did outlive George. She was slightly, I think, a little bit older than George, but she did outlive George by 2 years.
Yeah.
So
She definitely was the one with the money and the purse strings in that relationship. 100%. Happy birthday, Martha.
Yeah.
That's Stordom Stat, brought to you by St. Augie's Pizza in downtown St. Augustine, right at the corner of Riberia and MLK. Aren't they closed on Mondays?
Yes, they are.
Can't get a slice today, but you can get a slice tomorrow. Be dreaming about it until then. All right, we got plugs, Troy?
Plugs tonight. On Bollocks tonight, we have some new sponsors. Lenny and I are going to do our 5 questions, and you just never know what's going to happen on Bollocks.
That is true. You never know. Do you have any plugs, Blake?
Yes, I do have a plug. This actually came from Rebecca herself. So make sure you get a bag of Bucky's Beaver Nuggets. Put in the bowl. Pour some milk on it. You have giant caramel Captain Crunch.
It's a Bucky's hack.
Yeah, that is. We were eating the sweet Buggy Nuggies, and we were like, that tastes like it could be a good cereal. I like the white chocolate habanero one, or white cheese, white cheddar.
Yeah, the white cheddar ones are
yeah.
addicting.
Those aren't the
I don't
cereal
think that would
types.
be good with cereal.
No. I'm a savory Bucky Nuggies girl.
Oh, okay.
But my kids really love it.
It's a little too much for me to go in there.
Yeah, it's a lot.
There's too much going on for me.
You have to go weekday morning.
Okay.
Weekday morning is the only time
I've only ever been on a weekend, and
stimulated.
it's just been like, how do people even like this place?
Yeah, I can't stand it on a Friday, Saturday, even Sunday. But on a Monday morning or like Wednesday morning, it's so fun. Which minion are you?
would you be?
Give us your minion description in the comments.
Minion would you be?
I'm going that one for me just because of the hair option.
I think Kenny already claimed this one, so
okay, you're sticking with
I'm
pirate.
the pirate. Blake's the serious one.
Yep.
I
I feel like this has got a little hippie vibe. So Rebecca.
So I think
What do you think,
I think this little karate person's Rebecca.
We have very different relationships with Rebecca.
No, she is a black belt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
She is a black belt, and she kicks a lot.
I can agree to that.
No comment.
So,
Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube and our Rumble. Bollocks tonight at 5 p.m. We'll see you later, guys.